Hello and welcome to another update video about BNB. So I said I would make you aware as soon as we can see a first impulse in the price structure of a coin. BNB seems to be the first one, and there is also a bearish count, so I just want to take you through both possibilities and I will tell you from which price level onwards each of these will get more likely, because from my point of view at the moment they are both possible, yeah, but BNB has more than any other coin that I can see. Well, maybe with the exception of Mana, because the Mana chart looks sort of bullish as well, but BNB has a possibility to break out here to the upside with a higher likelihood than the others. Now, how likely is that compared to, if Bitcoin drops once more? Again, this is where we get a bit more problematic, but we also need to acknowledge that BNB looks much more bullish than the other coins, because look at this price chart from where BNB came to a low of $212 here, or exactly $207 on the 12th of May, and it now is at pretty much $295. That is from the low on the 12th of May. That is pretty much still 42% increase. Now, if we compare that to ETH, let's look at what ETH has done from the low of the 12th of May. Yeah, how much higher are we at the moment? Okay, 3%. Okay, so you can compare it to other cryptocurrencies, and there are some that are further away. There are some that look better, but BNB has made quite a strong increase, and despite the price drops of the last few days and couple of weeks, it still is looking decent. Yeah, really good. And even when we zoom in, it looks quite good. But let me first take you through the bearish wave count, and let me tell you from which point of view we are looking here at a potential bearish outcome. So the overall wave count here suggests that we came up here to an all-time high back in May. We came down in a wave A, we moved up in a wave B, and we're now coming down in a wave C. This is sort of the bearish wave count, where you would suggest that in the wave C you make a lower low. Perfect, that has actually been achieved. So from that point of view, from the higher level point of view, the minimum requirements to end this overall correction are finished. Yeah, this ABC is part of a wave 2. The only thing is that in a wave 2 you would normally get into the range between the 88.7 and the 78.6% fib level, but given that BNB is quite a high market cap crypto, my view is it doesn't necessarily need to get into this area. The 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level would be enough for such a wave 2, given that it has actually made a slightly lower low here on the 12th of May compared to the low of the 22nd of May last year. So it has done that, and that means in this ABC, by making that lower low, it has done what it needed to do to complete the correction, the minimum requirements. Now, the lower level Elliott wave count in this bearish scenario, where we moved down here, or we are moving down in a wave C, which in itself is a 5-wave move, that suggests we are not done yet. That would suggest we are moving once more lower. Yeah. The problem I have with this bearish wave count that works very well for Solana, Ethereum, and so on, we are miles away from the low of wave 3. We are miles away. So it is very hard to really count this sort of in a bearish way at the moment. And therefore, looking at the price structure in itself, it looks actually not too bearish. Yeah, it looks actually rather bullish, and we'll get to the alternative wave count in a minute. And actually, I'm thinking that I make this bearish one here for BNB my alternative. The thing is here, what is very, very important, that the price should not drop, certainly not below 208 US dollars. So the low here, no, it was 207.5. So when it breaks below that, obviously the bearish wave count is activated. But I think it's better to explain if we go to the other, or if we do that bullish wave count together on the other chart, and then I will tell you from which level onwards we are going to go bearish, because I think this is the wave count basically that we can see currently on the Solana chart, Ethereum chart, and so on, which all follow that bearish wave count pretty well. But BNB actually doesn't really. Yeah, BNB actually looks more bullish than the other coins, especially due to that last bit here where BNB did quite a bit of good performance. So And this one becomes, if we use the log chart, which I normally wouldn't do, then this bullish count is certainly possible. And I'll take you through why. Normally I don't like to use the log chart, but it helps in the current environment how this chart is labeled, because, and I would explain that, because then I can do all this bit up here, I can count as a triangle. Now, if I do it like that, I can't count it as a triangle, because from an, let's say, traditional or arithmetic chart point of view, this has to be a wave 1, and this down here has to be a wave 2, just due to the size, yeah. But on the log chart, I can count this here down here very well as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, so that we're now in a large wave 4, and there will be a wave 5 coming. And in this scenario, I can actually count very well this wave 4 up there as an entire triangle, because you can only count a wave 4 as a triangle, not a wave 2. So if you want to label that whole thing here, I won't spend too much time on it, but what we can see this like is that this here was a wave 1, coming down in a wave 2, moving up in a wave 3, coming down in a wave 4, and this entire wave 4 can be counted as a triangle, but as a triangle in a bullish way. And also then the lower time frame Elliott wave count would help with that, and then the next wave up would be a wave 5. So BNB currently looking quite good actually, and let's take a look at this particular part here, this element here, because this is really what is so interesting. So I take that out, and let's say we label this here, we label this here as a wave 3. Oops. And this down here would be a wave 4, okay? Assuming the wave 4 low is already in and we're already starting to move up. So from that point of view, you can see all of this here, you can count as an Elliott wave triangle. Okay, so how would we do that? We would take a look at, from this up here, obviously, we would count, we would have to find a way, we would have to find a way to count A, B, C, D, E, an Elliott wave triangle count. So from the high to the low, when we hit support here, that would have been the wave A. Moving up, obviously, wave B. Moving down, hit support again, wave C. What then would come would be next a wave D, and then a wave E down. And from here to the opposite side of the triangle, we would exit. Okay, so this would be the bullish count. And let's now take a look at really what is interesting is then really to understand what is happening here in this last bit. And to show you where we actually are, we can also label this wave C down, to give you an understanding of where we actually are. So this wave C down can be counted as here it was W, X, Y, X, Z. So there is a more complex corrective wave. So this wave C is complete in my opinion, and we are now probably in this wave D. So it's really interesting to zoom in and take a look at this particular part here, this particular element, this wave D. So if I go in, and if we ideally want to take a look at the lower time frames, we want to take a look at the hourly chart. I think that probably gives us the best overview here. And what has come up here really compared to other cryptos can be counted as a 5-wave move. I have a problem to count this as a 5-wave move for other cryptos, not so much here for BNB. And why can we count it as a 5-wave move? So I'm going to show you that. So from the low, this is very strong move up. So we can count this here as a wave 1. We then came down in a wave 2. We moved up then in a wave 3 all the way to the high here. We then moved down in a wave 4. That cuts into the price range of wave 1, but if you've been following me for a while, you know that is not a problem if we have a diagonal pattern here. So this is a diagonal pattern. Basically, you can also call this here a channel or an ascending wedge. Okay, so in this case, you can count this as a diagonal pattern. Also, the internal wave structure would allow that. That means this whole move up can be seen as a first wave to the upside. Basically, a wave 1, and I'll maybe make it orange. So as a wave 1. What we're doing now, we're currently coming down here in a wave 2 in an ABC pattern. And I would actually suggest or expect this wave C to come down a little bit lower. So we can count this, now I go back here. So we can count this here as a wave A, and I make that white again, A, the low, moving up here in a wave B, and coming down here now in a wave C. And I think we can probably, for that, we just leave the log chart again, because it doesn't make a big difference here on the lower time frame anyway. So go down to wave C, and we would need to find out how low will the wave C usually retrace. So I think an ideal retracement level would be the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. Now let's see where we are with that. Currently we have already reached here we haven't even reached the 238 point, so we haven't reached the 38.2% Fib level. That would be at around $287. The 50% would be at 272, and the 61.8 would be at 256. So usually would expect here, well, at least the 38.2% Fib level in this wave C. So we should see a little bit more downside here for BNB, in my opinion, all the way down, I would say, to the 61.8 at $256. And that would then be the wave 2. So the wave 2. So this can be counted bullish, which means the next wave up should be a wave 3. We then should be coming down in a wave 4. We should be moving up in a wave 5. Now, and this is where the question is this a triangle or not? That is what we need to see, because a wave D in a triangle can only have 3 waves, an A, B, C. But those 5 waves that we're doing here at the moment, they could just be the wave A of the triangle, of the wave D. And again, it gets too complicated. What is important to understand is that we are seeing here potentially a first impulse, and that is really, really good. So really, to invalidate this, in my opinion, well, the price can theoretically come down all the way to the low here at around $206, $207, without being invalidated, without invalidating this wave 2. But in my opinion, as soon as we drop below $221, it already gets very unrealistic that it's still an impulse. Because if you drop below the 88.7% Fib level of a move, it just gets very unlikely that it will recover to the upside. So for now, it is looking good, and personally, I will think about, and I don't know that yet, but I will think about entering BNB here in this yellow target area. We'll need a bit more information for that when that drops in here, how it reacts to these Fib levels. And ideally, when it goes in here and we see a bullish reaction, that might be an entry point with a stop loss, maybe 1 or 2% below the target area. That might be something here between $256 and $287. So, because if it comes down here and retraces in a wave 2 and then moves up in a wave 3, the wave 3 would be quite strong. So message here is really, we have here potentially a first impulse. Now, nothing confirmed yet, really, you will probably not see confirmation until we break above the $337 level. But then you already, if we assume a bit more retracement here, and let's say we recover from 272 and go high, then you've already lost, 24% all the way to that high. Therefore, stop loss in the current environment. We are still very, very early, but it is quite promising here on the BNB chart, I have to say. I would see this actually as primary expectation now, that we are, I don't know, either in a triangle, or it might already just be a beginning of an impulse. So without the triangle, because it doesn't need to be a triangle. It could just be an ABC and we're already starting to move up, but the triangle is a possibility. We need to keep an eye on. There's various options that can unfold, but message of this video very clearly is that more than other coins that I cover, BNB has a chance to break out because it is holding much better than other coins at the moment, and it is creating a more impulsive move up than other coins. The structure of other cryptocurrencies looks very much corrective. The BNB structure here, especially on the lower time frame, looks actually rather bullish, especially as it's holding so well. And if we're now coming down and make a higher low in this yellow target area, and we then move up and really break out above the previous rejection point here at the wave 1 high, 338, that can really give us a boost. And let's just, we can calculate for fun what that would mean in terms of Fibonacci extensions for the wave 3, because it will be big. Let's say we really come down, and let's say we come down to the low of the yellow target area. Let's say we come down to the 61.8% level at around $257. Then the wave 3 of this move should take us to $472 US. There is quite a bit of a move. So even if you wait for a breakout above the wave 1, there is still a lot in here to really get or run the trend all the way up to $472. So yeah, I'm just saying, be ready. BNB is one of the coins where I would say with a high probability, the low could already be in, much more than for other coins. For most other coins, I expect a lower low. And here's the good example. Here's the good example that we can see, because this is the moment we waited for. Yeah, not telling you it's definitely in. I would recommend using a stop loss here. Yeah, unless you really want to hold it long term in case it goes below the yellow target area or below the 88.7% Fib level. But everybody says everything moves with Bitcoin. Well, the correlation is there, but you can see how much better it is actually holding than many other coins. And what could happen if Bitcoin makes a lower low, maybe to 25K. BNB will hold somewhere here. Yeah, maybe in the region between 230 to whatever, $250. Yeah, it will. While Bitcoin might make a lower low, BNB could make a higher low. And this is what I mean, that it doesn't matter what Bitcoin does. Well, it sort of does, but when Bitcoin makes an impulsive move down, what BNB could be doing here is just a corrective move down, meaning we could see a higher low on the BNB chart while Bitcoin makes a lower low. Very important, yeah. So that's the message of this video. Keep an eye on BNB, absolutely. It's looking interesting, and I wouldn't say that if I didn't see it in the chart. Different chart structure than many other coins, and holding much better as well. And that is always what I mean here, when we see the first impulse to the upside and then the first correction down, and then we see a bullish reaction. That is you won't get a better signal, right? It's not perfect, but you won't probably get a better signal than this one, yeah. But I would wait for what signals we get in here. So I'll keep a close eye on this for you in the next few days. And definitely short-term lower prices expected into this yellow area that I mentioned, and then from here ideally a move to the upside. So hopefully you liked the update about BNB. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.